Everybody, we are live here at DevSlopes. I'm Jason. I'm going to be your live streamer today. Then again, I'm like the live streamer like every day. So is what it is. All right. How we doing? Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Let's see who we have piling in here. We've got Rakesh Manlin. So good. Okay, cool. Rinat Mashov, since when, bro? Since the beginning, bro. Dario Nick, what's going on? A lot of usernames I can't pronounce, but we've got Samuel. We've got Samuel Norbaksh here, which is great. Great to have you here. What's going on, Carl Coelho? But yeah, welcome everybody. What do we have happening here on TikTok? What's going on? A30,001, something like that. What's going on? How you doing, Quinley Voss? YouTube, make some noise. Wake up. Let's go. There we are. Thank you, Gabriel. Broke that silence for us. Appreciate you, man. All right. So let's do this. We're gonna talk about a couple of things, and then, as always, like every day, I'm gonna answer all your curiosities about the programming world, about what programming languages you should learn, different tech stacks, jobs, tech, code, all that shenanigans. Okay. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jason, full stack developer here at DevSlopes. We're a learn to code company. So I get to work in the MERN stack, Mongo, Express, React, and Node. I absolutely love it. I've worked with tons of other libraries and frameworks too, but primarily the MERN stack is where the meat and potatoes are. So that's what I do. And then because DevSlopes is a learn to code company, we've got these really cool different coding academies for iOS, Android, and web development. And I'm the web development instructor, mentor, and teacher. So I've got the privilege of working with students every day, helping them learn how to code, and then helping them take those skills and make some money with it, doing freelance work or landing a job. So it's great stuff. Yeah, let's. I get asked all the time, where to start as like a beginner developer, or where to start in web development, things like that. So if you have questions about that, go ahead and leave some comments below. But I'll go ahead and kick some things off here. So the first thing to do is any new beginner, if you're looking to get into the coding sphere and learn to code and get a developer position, some things that you would do to take these steps is first is decide what kind of software programs that you want to build. Do you want to work on mobile apps? Do you want to do websites and web apps? Do you want to build games? Do you want to work on embedded systems, build AI and machine learning to take over the world? Okay, what is it you want to do with code? All right, because for each one of those, there's a different learning path. Those require different programming languages. Okay, so decide what it is you want to build with software and then learn that technology. So for an example, we'll keep this small example. If you have questions about this, please drop them in the comments below. If you want to get into web development, okay, you're going to start with HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I always encourage my students to jump into React. Okay, it's a really smooth transition from learning JavaScript into React. And then you can go full stack with Mongo, Express, and Node. Okay, if you want to do iOS development, you're going to learn Swift. If you want to do Android development, you're going to learn Kotlin. All right, and then AI machine learning, Python is the most popular language for that right now. So yeah, so those are the languages that you would pick and choose. All right. And then to get started with those, I would just test the waters and see if you even like coding. Once you've picked a learning path and you know what technologies to learn, check out some YouTube videos, or there's websites with free little tutorials and whatnot. And just, test the waters with code, because a lot of people think, oh, I want to code. And then they actually start doing it and they're like, oh, this sucks. Only a small amount of people think that. I think most of them really like it because it's very creative. All right. So do that. Pick a learning path, test the waters free with YouTube, maybe a cheap Udemy course. And then if you're real serious about it, maybe invest in a better, more curated, guided learning path. And again, DevSlopes, we're a learn to code company. So if you are serious about, changing your life, getting into the coding industry, and you'd like to work with somebody like me, I'll coach you, help you learn how to code, and help you get a job you can always go to devslopes.com/apply if you're curious about that. All right. And then after you've been working in coding and you're going through the tutorials, you've got to get out of the tutorial stage at some point and then just dive in and start building projects. That's the fastest way to really learn, because you're training your brain to think programmatically, to solve problems instead of just following along a tutorial. So I would say after a couple of months, got to cut the cord and you got to start building projects. All right. So I'm going to leave it off there. If you've got questions about that, let's hop into those. Let's see. I'm going to start over here on YouTube. Let's see. So we've got a few people hopping on here. Let's see. Full Metal. Hey, in my case, I love to code, but I hate the code, but I love the code. Yes. Yes. Learning or just coding in general is a love-hate relationship, right? I've been doing a lot of API work lately, and it's been so awesome, finally getting out of the HTML, CSS stuff and just working on the back end. And until lately, I was working with the Facebook conversion API, and oh my gosh, I got a lot of things working that I needed to set up for our company, but then there was just like roadblocks that I was hitting, and then I became very frustrated, and I was like, man, I miss crappy CSS. Like this is nuts. But yeah, I totally know what you mean. Let's hop over here to TikTok and then Instagram. Stick around. I'm gonna get to some of your questions as well. All right, welcome TikTokers. Can we hear that good-looking coding gentleman speaking for once? I don't know if you are talking about me. I'm good looking. No, I'm just kidding. All in the eye of the beholder, right? Don't know who you're talking about, but if it's me, thanks for the compliment. And whoever else it might be, hats off to them. Compliments. All right, hats off. All right, let's see. Is it worth learning to code even if I'm not sure I want to go into the field such as computer science? Yeah, it's worth learning to code. Test the waters. I mean, the reason why I'm so passionate about programming is because of the opportunity. And I love to be creative, to creatively solve problems and to build things that people use and interact with every day. There's a lot of satisfaction in that for me. And so that's one of the reasons I got into coding. But test the waters. Check out some YouTube videos, some websites, free code camp, whatnot, code academy, and test the waters for free. See if you like it, and then you can take the next steps. Let's see. Are you selling something? No, I'm not selling anything, Joe Stab. I'm just talking about coding. I do live streams every day, talk about programming, where to start as beginners. Yes, I do work for a learn to code company. So we have different programs people can enroll in to learn how to code, but I'm not on here selling. I'm not a sales guy. I code, and I do live streams because I love coding. Let's see. What do you think about High Dollar? I don't know what High Dollar is. Is that a cryptocurrency or just, I don't know. Let's see where to start all of it. Let's see. I just went over that. AI, machine learning, where do I start? So Joe Stab, I would choose Python. Python's the most popular language for machine learning and AI at the moment. And I would check out some YouTube videos on that. I haven't personally dived into the AI or machine learning yet. I haven't even built any projects in that sphere of things. So test out the waters for free. We don't teach Python here at the DevSlopes Academy, so I'm sure there's lots of other resources though. Python, C++, or Java. Joe, all of those are used for entirely different things. So like I mentioned in the beginning, pick a learning path. What do you want to build? And then that will determine the programming language you'll learn. So for an example, Python has a very broad general use. You can do web development with it. It's a great scripting language and to run algorithms with. You can also use it for game development, AI, machine learning. So there's a slew of things that you can use Python for. C++ is great for embedded systems, robotics, things like that. You can do AAA games with C++. You can really do everything with C++, but 90% of the things out there that a developer would build with code, C++ is way overkill, and it has a very steep learning curve to it. So as beginners, I say, don't learn C++ unless you're super passionate, like you want to work on Call of Duty apps or like World of Warcraft, things that have really intense performance that it needs, or like embedded systems, work for NASA, something like that. C++ is a great choice, or for Google. Java, very general, broad purpose, kind of similar to Python. Great for backend stuff. It's a very secure language. So if you need more security and stuff in your software, Java is a good choice. And you'll see it a lot in enterprise companies. So that's kind of the difference between the three languages. So choose a learning path, and that determines what you learn. Let's see. Yeah, I'm new. Do I need to learn algorithms and data structures first? This is such an interesting question. There is like data structures and algorithms is like some type of viral thing. Okay. So algorithms and data structures, yes, they're important to know in programming, but being like some type of Harry Potter wizard about them and an expert, like I can't even remember the last time I've used crazy algorithms in coding. All right. I mean, data structures are important to know, and you can learn those along the way, but just knowing basics, you'll be fine. Unless you're like working with NASA and you need crazy algorithms to run those robots on Mars, like they're important, but you don't have to go crazy with it, is basically what I'm trying to say. But I think it's so interesting. This question is like coming up left and right. I got into coding like 6 years ago, and it's like, yeah, those were important, but it wasn't like the focus of learning to code. Jacob Price, what is the best platform to learn Android development? So you're going to want to learn Kotlin if you're diving into Android. Okay, you can use Java, but the whole Android community is pushing Kotlin. And the beauty about Kotlin is you'll write about 30% less code with Kotlin versus Java. It's backwards compatible, which means if there's an Android app written in Java, you can immediately start writing new files and functions and whatnot using Kotlin. All right. And it's got a really clean syntax to it as well. So whole Android community, they're pushing Kotlin. And we do teach Kotlin in the DevSlopes Android Academy. So you can go to devslopes.com/apply, check out the different academies that we have. And if it looks interesting, the whole curriculum, everything's there. Just set up a free call and talk to one of our career coaches, see if the academy is for you. What is the best platform? Let's see. Oh, we've got Chaldean Chaldea says React Native for sure. React Native is also another option. Here's the thing to know about React Native. Okay, so there's native app or native Android development, which you'll use Kotlin for. All right, React Native is a fantastic cross-platform development programming language you can use, and also Flutter. But here's the thing: if you are looking to get a job, you're not going to find a job with React Native or Flutter. Okay. Maybe in a brand new like startup company, but those two technologies have not been adopted in the industry quite yet. I'm sure there's a handful of here and there companies. Okay. But it's fantastic for freelance work, React Native and Flutter. But the opportunities are very, very small if you're looking to land a job. So if you want to do Android and learn Kotlin, you can find a job anywhere. Knowing that. Let's see. I signed up. Let's see. Still Small says I signed up a bit ago and I'm getting my interview today. Can't wait. 1 more hour. Hey, Still Small. That's awesome. Congratulations. What are you interviewing for? Like what type of tech role? What programming stack did you learn? Let me know. Stoked for you, man. That's great. All right, Instagram. My Instagrammers. Let's see what we have happening here. We've got, where's the questions? Let's see. Question start where? I'm still scrolling. Sorry, y'all. Let's see. Oh, my word. Let's see. What about best for iOS? So for iOS, learn Swift. Okay, Swift 5 is the latest. Ooh, I think it is. I'm like 99% sure. I just don't want to be 100% wrong. I do web development. Okay. But Swift 5, I believe, is the most current Swift framework right now. So you're going to learn Swift, and then UIKit is important. They also came out with, what's it called? I think it's called Swift UI. It's a new feature that Apple launched in Xcode, so it makes just building UIs way easier than using view controllers and whatnot. It's great to know, but there's not a lot of companies who have adopted Swift UI yet. So you still want to learn just Swift and like UIKit. All right, that's where you're going to want to start with iOS development. And iOS development is really fun. When I first got into coding, I actually wanted to be an iOS developer, and I dabbled in it a little bit. But then my first real intro to programming was web development, and I just fell in love with web development. I learned that. Then I tried iOS again. It was cool, but I just fell in love with React. Let's see. Someone says, Python. I don't know what that means, but Python is great. It's great for beginners. It has a really nice, clean syntax to it. Somebody says, Relt Java. You're just saying things with exclamation points. I don't know what that means, but I've never heard of Relt, but Java is great. Again, it's an enterprise language. I would personally never want to use or want to learn Java. Any of this type of stuff you would build with Java, I just don't care for. But my dad's a Java developer. Kudos to him. He's been doing it for like 20 years. Let's see. Tribic called Derek. Hey, I recognize that username. Currently in a boot camp, feeling like it's too rushed. Any thoughts or tips? It's full stack web dev. Okay. Tribe called Derek. That's a great question, and I want to share my personal experience about this. Okay. So, Derek, I'm a self-taught developer. Okay. I started learning to code 6 years ago. My first stab at programming, I took one of these in-person boot camps, 12 weeks. And holy smokes, you are absolutely right. It is rushed. And here's why. They have to take X amount of curriculum, shove it down your throat in a limited amount of time. Okay. So for example, the boot camp that I joined, there was 15 students originally who had joined this boot camp. All right. Great boot camp, great instructors. Okay. By the end of the boot camp, because the curriculum moved so fast and instructors were really unable to slow down for anybody having a hard time grasping the concepts, by the end of the boot camp, there was only 3 of the 15 students left, me and 2 others. That was it. And so, yes, the boot camps, they move really, really fast. At the end of the 12 weeks, it was done. And it's like, wait a minute. I've been coding for 12 weeks. I have hundreds of questions still, hundreds of them. And I didn't have lifetime access or anything to that boot camp. It was just like, okay, see you later. Thanks for all your money. Have fun figuring out all this information we just threw at you. So I spent probably the next 8 months learning on my own. Like it was a good, like kind of ramp up start to learning to code, but I still, at the end of the 12 weeks, was still confused what the heck that I was even really doing with coding. And I had no idea how to get a job. And I didn't know how to apply these skills that I learned in the practical real world. And so, anyways, I spent all this time learning on my own. And eventually, after a total amount of about a year, I did land a job, which was great. But here's the thing. So, and I'm not going to sell you on DevSlopes or anything. That's, where I work. But here's one of the things that I do really admire about DevSlopes is you have lifetime access to it. Okay. You've got a one-on-one coach and mentor. Okay. You've got somebody like me to work with, and you have weekly live meetups. You have somebody to review your code. I will personally review your code and give you feedback on it. And I would have loved some type of mentorship when I was learning to code. I got it for 12 weeks, but then I was just like cut off. It just ended. And so to anybody who is new to coding, if you're trying to do it on your own, you can do it on your own. Okay. It's rough, and it's also always nice and super helpful to have some type of mentor or coach just to be able to ask questions to and get some clarity, so you're not diving down rabbit holes, wasting weeks or months worth of time. That's exactly what I did. I kept learning, going down rabbit holes, learning things that were completely useless in my development career because I didn't know. I didn't have anybody to ask questions to. So again, I wish I would have known about something like DevSlopes in the beginning. It would have saved me loads of money and saved me, probably 4 to 5 months worth of time. But again, if you are interested in some coaching, mentorship, go to devslopes.com/apply. Check out the academies. I would love to work with you. I would love to work with you to help you learn how to code, and I will work with you until you land a job or freelance work. That would be stoked. I'd love to see your life change. So let's see. Oh, cyber. Let's see. What is this? Cyborg Slayer. Cyborg Slayer. Gotcha. Oh, you're in the. Are you in the front end? You're in the Web Academy. It sounds like you said you're on module 1. Is that right? Cyborg Slayer. If you are, congrats, super stoked for you. Reach out to me and say hi. um, all right, what else do we have here? So yeah, DevSlopes is an online program. It's cool. You can cater it around your lifestyle. It's not like where you have to show up for like class time and have to sit through all these ridiculous lectures or anything like that. Um, yeah, you cater it around your lifestyle, and then I'm always available. You can reach out to me in our community, whatnot, and yeah, I'll help you. Someone says, do not like Apple. Cool. Then do web development or Android development or AI and machine learning, embedded systems, something else. Let's see. Where should I start? I'm planning on studying computer vision. I don't know what that means. Computer vision, computer science, computer vision. I've never heard of that term. Difference between data structures and file structures. Data structures is, well, okay, so data structures is like code architecture. Like what type of data structure are you going to use to store certain information, variables, whatnot? File structure, are you talking about the file structure of a computer? Like the way you lay out your files, like a project structure? Yeah, one's data, one's files. All right. Is Ionic dead? You know, I haven't heard a lot of stuff about Ionic lately. I remember when I first got into coding, Ionic was like a super big deal, but I haven't, really heard it popping up in any of my social media or whatnot. I don't know if it's dead. I just haven't looked into it. Technically, technically a chatter box. Yeah, you've got to have patience when you're learning to code. It takes time, for sure. For those of you who are getting into it, I would plan on anywhere from 6 months to a year to become proficient at programming. And to get proficient at programming, you need to be spending an hour and a half to 2 hours a day, hands on a keyboard, slamming out code at least 5 days a week. Okay, it takes time. When you're learning to code, there's a few things to consider here. You are learning a brand new language, you're learning a brand new way of writing, and you're learning a brand new way of thinking programmatically to solve problems. Okay, there's a lot of learning in that. You're not just like learning to code. There's several things that go into this. All right, so you got to be patient with yourself. It's not, a quick fix solution by all means, but I will promise you this: if you commit to learning to code and get in that daily practice and study, it will absolutely change your life, hands down. I promise you that. Promise you that. Like learning to code has just changed my life drastically. It has opened up doors of opportunity and has provided, ways I could have only dreamed of to, provide and take care of my family. It's created a very amazing lifestyle for me. Let's see. Man Lin's so good, if that's how you pronounce it. Oh, cool. You're a student at DevSlopes. It's pretty awesome. Hats off to you. Thank you so much. Reach out and say hi. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to take some questions from YouTube. We've got 6 minutes left here, so I'm going to wrap up with YouTube, TikTok, and then Instagram. All right, what do we have here? I know you're talking about web dev, but I've always wanted to ask this question. Is Unity C# game development a viable and easy career choice? Are Unity developers in demand and earn good salaries? That's a great question, Demiliola. Let's see. If I was to choose game development personally, I've tested it out before. Unity is my choice, and so I did some C# with that. There is definitely opportunity with Unity. I haven't looked at the opportunities recently, but I know when I was getting into game development, it seemed like there was good opportunity with it. And absolutely, if you want to build games, then you should pursue that. And Unity developers, let's see, I've seen salaries when I checked this out a while ago, anywhere from 70 to 80,000 plus. I've seen them in the six figures easy. So yeah, Unity is cool. Gabriel, languages for blockchain. So I only know a little bit, only a few. Okay. It's cool. I've seen a lot of blockchain pop up that are using JavaScript. So that's fantastic. If you're a web developer, you can immediately start into blockchain development. Nem, for a specific example, they use JavaScript. So it's nice. It's very easy access to the API to work with their blockchain and tokens and everything. And then there is the Ethereum, okay, Ethereum Solidity is the programming language you would use for Ethereum. All right. Muhammad, no, this is not a pre-recorded thing. I go live every day, 3:30 Central Times. No, Muhammad, it's not pre-recorded. Okay. Let's see. When are you considered proficient and ready to apply for jobs or freelance opportunities? Trevor, that's a great question. So, if you can build, so I'm going to I'll speak to web development. If you are proficient with HTML, CSS, and know a tiny bit of JavaScript, you can start freelancing, building static websites. What that means is a website with just information. It's just informational. Like maybe a bakery opened up a new store and they just need an online presence. So basic stuff like that. To really start leveraging freelance and jobs, you want to be able to build full stack applications. That means something that can create, read, update, and delete records from a database. All right. So you could build like a Twitter clone app, a Slack clone app, an e-commerce store like Amazon, for an example, build a clone of Amazon. All right. Once you can do full stack apps, that's when I'd say you're ready to really hit the ground running, doing freelance work, and to start applying for jobs. All right, Anis is the last question I'm going to take from YouTube. I have a question. Is database a must to learn, and when to start learning it? So you learn programming in incremental steps. So I'm going to talk about web development. First, you learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay, those are front-end technologies. And then dive into like React or Angular. All right, once you become proficient in those, then you want to take the next steps and dive into full stack development. Okay, and the next best step is to learn Node. Okay, Node lets you write all your server-side code in JavaScript. So you don't have to actually go and learn a brand new programming language. You're just literally learning a different kind of syntax and patterns of writing for the backend. And then Mongo is just a database. It's fairly easy to figure out the structure. Their documentation is fantastic. So yeah, dive into that. Oh, let's see. Manahad, your question is, I didn't see your question, Mohanad. Let's see. Is data science dying? I wouldn't say it's dying by any means. I haven't really kept up in that industry, that sphere of things. So I can't speak like fully accurate to it, but there's still a need for data science. All right. Okay. I'm going to hop over to TikTok. We've got a couple of minutes. TikTokers. Let's see what kind of questions we have. I'll take 2 from TikTok, 2 from Instagram. Okay, I'm going to skip through a bunch of these. Oh, cool. Izaddy says this guy could not be speaking anymore. Truth. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, we have a YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com/devslopes. Dev like development, slopes like the mountain. All right. Let's see. How can I know? Let's see. I just answered this question. Wow, this person's posting the same question over and over. Let's see. I'm learning Java, and what kind of projects can I work on? I would Google what type of projects, big projects for Java development. Just Google it. I don't know any off the top of my head. All right. Looks like all these questions from TikTok I actually answered in YouTube. Someone says, I'll answer this one, Cyborg Slayer. Oh, yeah, Cyborg Slayer. You're in the academy. So me, I'm a self-taught developer. Okay. I come from a background of sales, and I got tired of sales, got sick of that. So I was always fascinated with technology, and I got into programming, did an in-person boot camp for 12 weeks that left me lost and confused. And then I just continued my self-study, reading documentation, watching tutorials, reading books, and building projects. Started freelancing. The biggest freelance project that I ever landed paid out $100,000 over the course of 9 months. So that was pretty cool. And then I ended up working at Dell Computers as a full stack engineer for a couple of years. And then I came to DevSlopes, and now I'm teaching web development and building a lot of internal tools. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. What are we going to answer here on Instagram? Let's see. I've been teaching myself computer science 9 years. I'm techie, started self-taught coding a little 2 years ago. Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. All right. Let's see. I think you're trying to ask, oh yeah, do you need a master's degree to become a web developer? No, you don't need any schooling whatsoever. You do not need a computer science degree. You don't need to go to college for this. Not at all. The industry has changed a lot. All a company wants, this is the truth. At the end of the day, all a company or a client wants is somebody who can code. Can you code and deliver results, or can you not? Okay. A computer science degree isn't going to help you at all in your development career. People just want somebody who can code. That's it. Can you code or can you not? And the beauty is being self-taught. It's a lot faster path to making money and getting a job versus going the insanely slow route of computer science degrees. Okay, they've been doing it for 20 years. They haven't changed anything about it. It is like the slowest way you could possibly humanly learn to code. All right. We'll just put it this way, and I'm going to wrap up with this. Okay, my older brother went and got a bachelor's in computer science. Okay, went to college 4 years, got his computer science. Took him 6 months to land his first job. Okay, I'm a self-taught developer. By 10 or 12 months, I landed my very first job. Actually, let me back up just a little bit. I first started coding after 4 months of coding. Okay, I started freelancing and making money. Okay, then once I hit my like 10 or 12 month mark of coding, I landed my first job at 78,000 a year. Now, I was able to start with that salary because I had projects under my belt. I had been freelancing. Employers were like, wow, this guy's got, people who paid him to build projects, and he's got experience under his belt, real world experience. All right. My brother, who went and got his bachelor's, okay, 4 years, 6 months to get a job, landed his first job, paid 55,000 a year. Okay, it was great. But let's just put it this way. In that 4.5 years that it took him to land his first job, I was already making over 6 figures as a developer in that amount of time with my experience. So self-taught road. I always say, why spend, $80,000, $100,000 on a computer science degree when you can just do self-taught? And here's the thing. It's ridiculous for people to say, oh, you don't have a computer science degree, you're not a real coder. And it's like, really? Because programming is a continuous journey. You will be learning for the rest of your life. It never stops, ever. Even if you have a computer science degree, you are going to be learning every single day because that's the way software engineering is. All right. So anyways, enough with that. Appreciate y'all for being here on today's stream. I'm going to, end it here. Again, if you are new to coding or you've been coding for a while, you want to work with someone like me, a mentor, coach, do code reviews with you, live weekly meetups and whatnot, go to devslopes.com/apply. I'd be stoked out of my mind to work with you. If you are brand new to programming or you have some experience and you want to level up your skills, DevSlopes has these 30-day coding challenges. All right, go to 30daycodechallenge.com and sign up for the next JavaScript challenge. Okay, we've got it just for JavaScript right now. All right, so go and enroll in that. You've got 30 days of challenges. You've got a mentor and a coach to work with through those 30 days. And you've got live weekly meetups. So pretty cool stuff happening. All right, until next time, stay safe, stay positive, keep coding. Adios.